Julian, and this is a quick video on what you can do if you're dealing with someone who's in a domestic violence situation, like how you can help them. And the first thing I think you need to do is just understand that they have Stockholm Syndrome, right? Like they are going to feel loyalty and defensive towards and attached to the person who's hurting them. Like they're going to want to protect that person. They're going to be loyal to them, etc. That's just the way it goes. And so it helps a lot if you can not judge them for this, right? Because all humans are actually capable of developing Stockholm Syndrome if the circumstances are right. And all humans can also get out of Stockholm Syndrome if under the right circumstances. So, I mean, your goal isn't to judge them for the fact that they currently have Stockholm Syndrome, but just to help so that in the future they won't need to have it. And the ways you can do that are, first of all, just by being their friend, because this is probably a person who does not have that many good relationships, or they wouldn't be in this situation, likely. And especially if you can be a friend that they can talk to honestly about what's going on, because if they can do that, if they can speak to someone about it, that will slowly start to wear away at the Stockholm Syndrome and help their mind to become more unified and clear. The next thing you can do is to figure out why the person can't leave, right? It's like you never want to pressure them to leave, but you can figure out like what are the reasons that they feel they can't leave, because there's frequently other things beyond emotional. Like in many cases they might be financially dependent, they might not know how to support themselves, they might be afraid that they will get hurt if they leave, they might not have anywhere to go, they might not have a car, they might not have they might not have anything they need to survive, they might not know how to survive, they might not have any friends or family they could stay with, so there's like, they might be afraid that someone, like a child or a pet, will get hurt, or they'll get killed. It's like, if you can figure out what the things are that make them feel that they can't leave, then you can help to remove maybe one or two of those obstacles, right? Without pressuring them to leave. So it's like, rather than pressuring them to leave, which will just make the internal conflict worse, instead you figure out why they feel they can't leave, and then you help them to address some of those issues. And then the last thing is just, if there's any concrete help you can give them related to the issues of why they can't leave, right? Like, could you offer them a place to stay? Could you be someone they could call in an emergency? Maybe they don't have a telephone. Could you help them get a telephone? It's like, there's all these sorts of things that might come into play. So basically, if you can just be a resource for them, or perhaps help them to gain some of the resources that they would need to leave without pressuring them to leave, and remaining their friend and being someone they can talk to, that's really the best thing you can do. And then finally, you really have to be patient, because it's a long process that takes a long time. But people do leave eventually. They do get out of it, and they do remember the people who helped them to get out of it. So I definitely think it's worthwhile to be there for someone in that situation. You just have to be patient, realize that it might take a long time, and in the meantime, you just kind of want to be there for it, and maybe slowly help to dissolve some of the obstacles. Thanks, I'm Julian, and this is what you can do for someone who's in a domestic violence situation.